Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Parnok, and I work as cybersecurity engineer at ThreatDetection Technologies. I specialize in building, managing, and strengthening security system for organizations. Today, we are going to talk about a very important part of cybersecurity, the Security Operations Center or SOC. Before we jump into the technical part, let's quickly explain why we are here. Every organization, whether big or small, faces security threats, from phishing attacks to ransomwares, insider threats, or even accidental misconfigurations. To fight this, companies need more than just antivirus or firewall. They need a central nervous system for security. The central nervous system is the SOC. Let's dive right in. Every click, every transaction, every operation security by threat says we are a what? We are a premier security company for India, empowering organizations with next gen testing, compliance, and managed security services. With us, it's not just about the stopping cybersecurity attacks, it's about embracing growth with confidence. Next, in next few minutes, we will explain these things: what a SOC is, what a company needs one, why a company needs one, how SOC differs from SIEM tools, some common SOC tools and their functions, and finally, for example, we will do a quick demo using Wazuh, an operation security SOC platform. All right, let's start with the foundation. What is a SOC? SOC stands for Security Operations Center. At its simplest, a SOC is a place and the team responsible for watching over an organization's digital environment and responding when something goes wrong. But that simple definition hides a lot. So I will break it down into three parts you can remember: people, process, and technology. A SOC is stuffed by security analysts, incident responses, threat hunters, engineers, and a SOC manager. There's are the humans who intercept alerts, investigate suspicious behaviors, and take actions to stop attacks. Now, the process. The SOC runs on repeatable processes. How to handle an alert, how to investigate an incident, how to escalate to the next level, and how to report to the management. Those playbooks and SOPs are what lets a SOC operate continuously, especially under the pressure. Now, the technology. The SOC uses tools like SIEM tools, security information and event management, EDR tools, endpoint detection and response responses, NDR means network detection and response, and SOC tool like means security, orchestration, automation and response, threat intelligence platforms, and more. These tools give the SOC the visibility and automation it needs. So, a SOC is not just a simple product on a shelf. It's the combination of people using different processes together with the right technology to keep an organization secure. A SOC exists to do four primary things every single day. First one, detect. Find suspicious activities across systems, network, cloud, and endpoints. Next, investigate. Determine whether an alert is a true positive or noise and understand the scope and the root cause. Third, respond and contain. Take actions that stop the attack from spreading and protect crucial assets. Fourth, recon and learn. Restore systems, close gaps, update playbooks, and reduce the chance of reoccurrence. These steps from the SOC operational lifestyle. At first detect, investigate, then respond, recover, and improve. Now, there are type of SOCs and roles. So, what roles are there in SOC? In a SOC, different people have different responsibilities to keep security running smoothly. First, in Tier 1 analysts, also called L1, are the first line of defense. They monitor alerts, do quick checks, and escalate it smoothly. Escalate it something looks suspicious. If something looks suspicious, to the L2. Tier 2 is the L2 or Tier 2 analysts go deeper. They investigate further, reconnect, uh, they connect related events and confirm if it's a real incident. After that, they send it to the Tier 3. Tier 3 analysts, also known as incident response or forensics experts, handle complex cases. They do root cause analysis, remove threats, and collect evidences. After that, they have some other responsibilities also, like threat hunters take a proactive role. They look for hidden threats that may not show up in alerts using intel and behavioral patterns. SOC engineers are a separate role. SOC engineers maintain the tools, fine-tune rules, and make sure system works properly. And finally, the SOC manager oversees the whole operation, takes performance, tracks performance, and correlate with other teams. Together, these roles make sure the SOC can detect, investigate, and respond efficiently. Let's walk through a typical SOC workflow to see how everything connects. First, data is collected, logs, And telemetry comes in from endpoints, servers, firewalls, and services, and identified systems. Next, the SIEM or analysis layer normalizes the data and correlates events. For example, a failed login plus a suspicious email from the same user can raise concern. Then, alerts are generated based on the rule or machine learning and they appear in the SOC query. At this point, Tier 1 analysts trigger the alert to see if it is a noise, a false positive, or a real threat. If it looks serious, Tier 2 or Tier 3 analysts investigate it further, then generate evidence, then review it, network flow, process history, and user activity to find the scope of impact. Once confirmed, the SOC takes action, isolating system, blocking IPs, disabling accounts, and removing malicious files. After that, recovery systems take place, like restoring clean backup, patching the system, and restoring credentials. Finally, the team runs a post-incident post-incident review. They update playbooks and improve detection rules. So the SOC keeps getting stronger. This cycle ensures that attacks are detected early, contained quickly, and prevented from becoming major incidents. Detection and signals. A SOC looks for broad signal types like signature-based detection, known bad incidents, IPs, hashes, or patterns, fast but misses new threats. And there is another technique, behavioral and anomaly detection. Alerts or unusual behaviors, abnormal logins, unexpected process, ex- uh, unexpected process execution, or data exploitation patterns. This is how SOCs catches unknown threats. A mature SOC combined both signatures for speed and behavior analysis for depth. Now, you don't need to memorize every name of the tools, but here are some examples of the tools which are used in SOC. SIM tools, it does central event collection, correlation, and dashboards. After that, EDR tools, it's uses for endpoint telemetry and response controls. And NDR tools, it's used for network traffic analysis for lateral movement. SOR, it's used for automation or repetitive tasks and playbook execution. And there is another tool, TIP, Threat Intelligence Platform, enrich alerts with external context, attacker IP reputation, TTP, etc. Combine this and the SOC has visible and actionability. Organization chooses different model depending on their budget and risk. There is an in-house SOC. First, the in-house SOC is owned and run by the organization itself. It is the best controlled, but it is very costly. And there is another one, managed SOC or MSSP. It is outsourced to a vendor, good for 24 into 7 coverage when internal staffing is limited. And there is another one, co-managed or hybrid, a blend, internal team plus vendor support during off hours. Each model treats cost, control, and skill availability. Now, let's move to the next point. How do we actually need a SOC? Let me start with the example question. How many of you lock your house doors at night? Everybody does, right? But imagine if you locked the door once and never checked it again. One day, maybe the lock gets weak or someone finds another way to get in. If you are not monitoring, you won't know until it's too late. That's exactly how it works with cybersecurity. Just installing a firewall and antivirus is not enough anymore. There's an evolution every day in cybersecurity. Hackers don't work from 9 to 5 and they don't take any weekends or holidays off. They are continuously scanning, probing, and trying to break in. This is why companies need to security operation centers or SOCs. It's like having a 24/7 digital security guide that never sleeps. The main reasons why we need SOC is 1. 24/7 monitoring. Security attacks don't wait for office hours. A SOC provides round the clock monitoring. Whether it's 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., the SOC is watching the company's environment ready to detect and respond. Without this, many attacks would go unnoticed for weeks, even for months. Faster detection and response. According to industry response, on average, it takes more than 200 days for a company to detect a breach if they don't have strong monitoring. That's like a burglar living inside your house for months without you even noticing. With a SOC, the detection happens in minutes or hours, not months, and the response is immediate. Isolating infected machines, blocking malicious IPs, or alerting the right peoples also. Protection against advanced threats. Modern attacks are not simple viruses. We have ransomwares, phishing attacks, insider threats, supply chain attacks, and advanced prospective threats, persistent threats also. This requires constant log analysis, correlation, and investigation. A SOC bridges the experts and the tools needed to detect these complex attacks. Compliance and legal requirements. Many industries are legally required to monitor and protect this data. Think of healthcare, HIPAA, finance needs PCI DSS, or global privacy law like GDPR. A SOC insurance ensures compliance by keeping logs, reports, and incident response records. Without it, compliances companies risk heavy fines. Reducing business impact. A cybersecurity incident don't just cause technical damage. It can shut down operations, cause reputational loss, and cost millions. A SOC minimizes this impact by quickly containing attacks before they spread. It's the difference between losing one file and losing your entire business. Centralized visibility. In a modern company, you have servers, cloud apps, laptops, firewalls, emails, and more. Each gathers logs. Without a SOC, these logs are scattered and ignored. A SOC centralizes them, makes it possible to see the big picture. if an employee account is compromised, if malware is spreading, or if a database is being propped. That's why SOCs need to fix these things. Let's take an example. Imagine someone is trying to brute force SSH access to your server. They try 200 passwords in 10 minutes. If you don't have monitoring, you might never notice until they succeeded. But with a SOC, an alert is immediately generated, multiple failed SSH login attempts detected from a suspicious IP. The SOC analyst can block the IP instantly. This prevents it in action. So the need for a SOC comes down to this. Instead of waiting for an attack to cause damage, the SOC helps detect, respond, and prevent attacks from before it grows. It's like the difference between having CCTV footage after a robbery versus having a guard on the duty who stops the robbery directly when it's happening. That is why SOC is not a luxury anymore. It is a necessity for every modern organization. Now, what is the difference between the SIEM and SOC? Many people confuses SOC and SIEM, but they are not the same. SOC is bigger in scope. It includes people, processes, and technology working together to detect, analyze, and respond to threats. SIM, on the other hand, it's just one tool inside the SOC, mainly used for collecting logs, correlation, and alerts. When it comes to purpose, the SOC's job is to protect the organization by monitoring 24 into 7 and responding to incidents. The SIM's job is more limited. It collects and normalizes logs, analyzes them, and generates alerts. In terms of functionality, SOC analyzes, investigate, prioritize, escalate, and responds to the alerts. SIM only provides the alerts. It doesn't describe it doesn't decide or describe what to do with them. So think of it as in that way. SOC is human using tools to manage security operations, and SIEM is only of those tools, one of those tools. A good analogy is the CCTV system is a building. The SIEM is the camera, where the SOC is the security guard watching those cameras and taking actions. Without SIEM, the guards are blind. Without SOC, the cameras recorded, but no one to respond. You need both for effective security. Finally, responsibility and the cost. The SOC is responsible for end-to-end security operations, monitoring, detection, response, compliance, and continuous improvement. The SIEM is only responsible for log management, correlation, and alerting. Building a SOC is expensive because it requires people, process, and multiple tools like SIEM, SOR, and EDR. A SIEM can be deployed on its own, but without a SOC team, it's like having a camera security with no one to respond. Alright, now we will cover SOC tools. This is a practical session. We will look at what kind of tools a SOC uses, what each of one does, how they fit together, and how to choose and operate them. Understanding tools is what turns theory into action. First, First, tools are enablers. A SOC without good tools is like a surgeon without instruments. You can do some things, but you cannot operate at scale, reliability, or quickly. Tools give us visibility, automation, and the ability to respond. But tools alone don't secure you. People and processes must use them well. I will walk through the major criteria, explain what tools do what, show how they integrate, and finish with a practical guidance and common pitfalls. SIEM tool, Security Information and Event Management. Think of SIEM as central nervous system of SOC. Its main job is to collect data logs and data from many different places like endpoints, servers, network devices, cloud services, identify systems, and applications. Once it gathers that information, the SIEM organizes those things. um, the SIEM organizations it so that logs from different forms can be analyzed together. It also contains events from multiple sources to create meaningful alerts. On top of that, it provides dashboard, search features, and reporting tools that helps investigating work more effective. Why is this important? SIEM gives analysts a simple view of what's happening and the historical context they need for investigations. It's also the place where the many correlation rules and alerts are generated. But there's something to keep in mind. SIEMs only work well if they have good log coverage and proper tuning. Otherwise, they can produce too much noise and overwhelm the analysts. In daily SOC operations, SIEM is used for rule-based correlation, running safe, running safe searches, strong data for forensic investigations, and generating compliance reports. Next, EDR system, endpoint detection and response. EDR agents are installed on endpoints like laptops and services, and they continuously send details of data to the SOC. What does EDR do? It records important activities such as process execution, file changes, network connections, and registry activity. It also allows remote investigation where analysts can run live queries, check process tree, and even retrieve files. On top of that, EDR enables direct response actions like isolating a host, stopping a process, quarantining a file, or even rolling back harmful changes. Why does this matter? Most cybersecurity most cybersecurity attacks being a spread through endpoints. EDR gives the SOC the detailed evidence needed to understand attacks and the tools to quickly contain them. A key point to remember, EDR works together with SIEM. While SIEM contains data across many sources, EDR gives deep visibility into endpoints and provides direct actions to respond. Now, NDR, Network Detection and Response. NDR tools focuses on analyzing network traffic and metadata. Why do they do? What did they do? They look for signs of suspicious activities such as lateral movement, unusual data flows, command and control traffic or scanning. NDR can work using full packet capturing or flow-based data like NetFlow or Zik. This helps detection behavior that endpoints tools might miss. For example, encrypted command and control trafficking using unusual ports. Why is this important? When attackers move between machines or try to steal data, networks signals often provides the cleanest uh, indications of the threats. NDR gives SOC teams that extra visibility across the network to spot those threats. Next, SOAR, Security Orchestration, Automation and Response. SOAR is like a automation engine of a security team. It helps by taking care of routine tasks such as adding extra details to alerts, blocking suspicious IPs, or isolating infected computers. It also makes different tools work together smoothly. For example, connecting the SIEM with the EDR, the firewall, and the tracking system so the process is faster and more organized. Another important point is the SOAR uses playbooks. These playbooks record the steps taken during an incident, which takes the process constant and also helps when we need to show proof for audits. The main advantage of SOAR is that it cuts down response time by automating triage and containment, and it also helps reducing pressure on analysts. A good practice is to start small with a few safe playbooks and avoid automation risk actions until the system is fully restored and trusted. Tip. Now, tip. Threat intelligence platform and feeds. A threat intelligence platform or tip is designed to bring in threat feeded and add useful context to the alerts. What does it do? It provides reputation data such as known malicious IPs, domains, and file hashes. It also gives information about attacker tracks, techniques, and procedure, as well as details on vulnerabilities being exploited. With this context, TIP helps analysts prioritize alerts by showing which ones are likely high risk and which can be trusted as low priority. Why does this matter? Without enrichment, analysts might spend too much time on minor alerts. TIP ensures the SOC can focus on the threats that matters the most. XDR, Extended Detection and Response. XDR is a newer type of security platform that bridges together data and detection from multiple areas like endpoints, networks, clouds, and emails, all in one place. Why does this matter? Normally, SOC team need to connect different tools like EDR, SIM tool, and NDR, with which can be complex. XDR reduce that complexity by providing built-in correlations across these domains. You can think of it as a more integrated version of EDR, SIM, and NDR, but with the vendor managing the connections and correlations for you. Vulnerability management and patching tool. Tools like vulnerability scanners and asset management platforms are used to find exposed or unpatched systems. What do? They scan assets for unknown vulnerabilities, then rank them by risk level and business impact. They also help track the remediation process. Why does it matter? SOC teams use this information to connect exploit items with known vulnerabilities and to guide patching prioritizes. This ensures the most crucial issues and fixes first, reducing overall risk. How those tools work together. Let's look at a simple end-to-end example of how these tools work together. First, the EDR detects a suspicious process running on a First, the EDR detects a suspicious process running on a workstation. The SIEM then correlates this with other signals, an unusual login from the same user in the IAM system, and a large outbound data flow spotted by a NDR. Next, the tip enriches the alert by confirming that the IP address involved in LinkedIn to a known command and control service. At this point, the SOAR platform automatically triggers a playbook. It enriches the alert, quarantines the endpoint through EDR, blocks the malicious IP on the firewall, and opens a ticket in the case management system. From there, analysts step into the deeper forensics, stop and lateral movement, and start remediation, often guided by the vulnerability management system. Finally, after that incident, the SOC updates its detection rules and playbooks so it can respond better in the future. This example shows why multiple tools are important. Each one adds a unique piece of the puzzle and provides different ways to take the action. Now, how to choose these tools? When choosing tools from a SOC, there is some practical questions to ask. First, coverage. Does the tool collect the data from system and assets that matters the most? Secondary, integration. Can it work smoothly with your existing tools and workflows through APIs or connections? And thirdly, scalability and cost. Will the piece grow too quick as log volume or endpoints increase? And can you afford the retention needed for this investigation? Next is actionability. Does the tool only detect threats or can it also help contain and remediate them? Usability is also key. The interface should be simple enough to analysts to use under pressure and the query language should be accessible. You should also check the level of support and community activity, whether the tool is cloud-based, on-premises, or hybrid to match your company's necessariness and needs, and whether it supports automation and playbooks. Finally, Look at the threat intelligence. Does it come with built-in feeds or allow you to add your own? And most importantly, always run a proof of concept with real telemetry before making a purchase. This ensures the tool, whether its actual environment uh, is suitable or not. Common pitfalls and operational best practices. In SOC operations, there are some common mistakes that teams run into. But the good news is there are clear ways to avoid them. One pitfall is deploying a SIEM or EDR and leaving the different rules in place. The fix is to tune, detects, and baselines for normal behaviors and cut down on false positives. Another pitfall is gaps in telemetry, like missing cloud logs or incomplete endpoints coverage. The solution is to keep an inventory of assets, enforce logging policies, and test data flow end to end. Alert fatigue is also a big challenge, where analysts get overwhelmed by too many alerts. Here, SOAR can help by automating low-risk tasks, applying triggers automatically, and focuses on high-quality alerts. Tool sprawl is another issue, where too many separate tools can create integration problems. The best practice is to prefer well-integrated platforms on a SOAR in a well-integrated platform, or use SOAR with standard connections to bring everything together. Finally, under, under investigating in analyst training is a common weakness. Regular tabletop exercises and red team or purple team activities and continuous training helps keep sharp their skills. By avoiding these pitfalls and following practices, SOCs can run more effectively and keeps analysis focused on their matters the most. Now, let's watch a demo of how a Wazuh tool works, a SIEM tool works, which named Wazuh. Well, now It is the Wazuh dashboard. So we can connect any systems with it, and it is the manager, and we can connect our system with it as a agent. So we can see the logs which are created by our system. We can um, we can see the false login logs and also the file changes logs here. So at first we are going to install the manager here. There is an easy process in Wazuh. Uh, we can deploy an agent from here. Our system is Windows, so we are going to select Windows, and the IP address which I created in Amazon AWS. So we are gonna use the address where the Wazuh is working right now. So our logs is sent into the Wazuh directly, and we're gonna set a name by which we can define our system. We don't have any kind of rules right now, so we are gonna select the default rules, but we have to place our own rules. So I created some rules before, so I'm just gonna use them for now for an example. So it will give us an URL by which I can directly install these things, install this agent in our system. We can use PowerShell. Just simply paste it, and it will install the agent. And after that, we can use this command to start it. Now, the Wazuh agent is started. So now we are going to put some rules in it, like this. I have some predefined rules ready, so I'm gonna use this. The rules will be available here. Wazuh agent and the OSIC configuration. So we are gonna add those rules here. We have to use the administrator mode to add those rules here. Like file integrity check and also the log checks of false login. Save it and exit. So our agents will be active right now. Yes, right here. But we added some scripts, right? So we have to restart the Wazuh agent. The manager here. We can simply restart it from here. Now, and refresh it. So I can lock my screen and try to put some passwords here. So it is going to be incorrect right now. So I'm going to be set the correct one now. Right. So I have did some login failed attempts after uh, locked my window, and after that I tried to log in with some failed attack attempts. And also now I am going to create a file in my system in C drive, and after that we are going to modify it and also delete it, which scripts I used in the registry. So now we're going to I'm going to use it in PowerShell directly. That's why you can see it. You guys can see it. So I have created a demo file. Okay. We can create a test file inside it. We're going to modify it, and also we are going to remove it. So these things should be monitored and created a log in the system. Now, how you can see there are many logs which are already created in this system for various kinds of reasons. So how can we find those specific logs which we need? That's why we need SOC, right? SOC team. So there are some specific rules by which we can define which we are finding, like the agent name and the system ID by which we can define the log screen failures, the login failures. So test, right? And we are going to set the time today to now. Okay, now so we can update it. The logs are not generated. The logs are created but still not uploaded in the Wazuh. Wait. Okay, now we can clearly see there are some things we have founded here, like we are created that file, the test, uh, that's our system which we defined in the Wazuh, and in this log we can see the details when the file was created and deleted. This file was deleted, so that's why it is saying. And also we can see when it is imported and it's modified. So it takes all the logs every time and stores here. So that's how we can see there is something changed in our system. Think about it this way. If an user of this company, if an company can download any file from online, uh, in online or any kind of email, so If a normal user directly clicks it or modifies its any kind of files by some reason, so the Wazuh can tracks it and the SOC team can seize it and tells us directly these things are modified in a system, or is there something wrong is going on. So with this, the demos wrapped up. If you have any kind of queries, then contact us with in the social media page of ours. Thank you for watching, and we will see each other in the next video.